What's up, everybody? It's Trey Smith, co-owner of Recaptured Values, alongside my talented wife,
Bailey Smith.
And hey, guys, we've been working for you guys. I've been kind of behind the scenes, which is why you haven't been seeing me. But trust me, I've been working for you guys.
Working the magic.
I'm the magic man. I've been doing all the social media pages, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, you name it. You know what I mean? I've been working for you guys. But yes, a lot of big things are coming, and we are happy that you are watching these videos. We hope these videos help you guys. And
we're going to be putting out new videos every Tuesday, and we're going to call it Teach It Tuesday. So be prepared to learn. Yeah. So whether you're a mama, a grandma, and any sort of family member making stuff for your little nieces and nephews, whatever. Right. Shop owners, we welcome you to watch our videos and learn. We're just going to be going through our favorite patterns and showing you how we use them in our own shop, and we hope you can benefit from them.
Well, enough of the introduction. We hope you enjoy this video. See y'all on the other side.
Hey everybody, it's Bailey Smith from Recaptured Values, and today is Teach It Tuesday. Check out these new shirts that we got. So if you haven't watched the last video, we debuted these in the last video, but you can buy these on our website, www.recapturedvalues.com. Go check those out. You can grab you a Teach It Tuesday shirt so you can watch it while you're learning along with us. But today's Teach It Tuesday, we're going to be doing a really cute pattern that's called a tiny tulip. And this is from Patterns for Pirates. And this pattern happens to be free. And they have a mommy version that's also free, which is really cool. This, the tiny tulip goes from 3 months up to size girls 14. And then there's a women's version that's like extra small, I think, maybe extra small, up to like, I think maybe 5X, I believe, is what they do. And so you want some mommy and me action, this is a really cute pattern, and it's free, so you're not breaking the bank. And I guess this would be a really good one to just try out, you know, if you want to figure out sewing or whatever. But we're going to do the size 18 month, and pretty much it's kind of cool because it gives you a few options. And so this one, I am doing a plain front with a tulip back, so you'll need to do that. There's a spot in there where you like pick what you want. You'll need to know like what front bodice you need with the plain option or tulip back. And this is the back tulip option. Like you can do a plain back with a tulip front, which is pretty cute. It'll have the butterfly type thing in the front. Or you can do like what we're doing with the plain front and a tulip back. That's just a really cute style. This would be a really good one for breastfeeding mamas, doing the tulip in the front and having that extra, you know, wearing a tank with the access. It'd be really cute. So, okay. I already got my patterns pieces printed, and on the thing, on the actual pattern piece, the front, it gives you the cut chart for the neck bands that's going to go around the neck. So this one here in particular is going to be, I'm doing the 18-month size. So we're going to do a 2-inch band by 12.5-inch length. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut my fabric out on the actual video just to give you guys a good idea. It's a free pattern. Don't want you guys messing up fabric because you want to feel good and accomplished when you do a free pattern. So, all right. So this fabric, of course, you guessed it, is from Knitpop. We will link them down below. We love them. Great knit fabric. This one in particular is a double brushed poly spandex fabric, also known as the DBP. Is what they call it. They abbreviate it. Very gray, very soft, a little bit more hot because it's not as breathable because it is a polyester fabric, but they have super cute prints in a double brush poly, and Knitpop is just where we get all of ours because they're super quick, great customer service, great prices, and we just love them. So check that down below in the description down below. So, okay. We're gonna go ahead and get started. So this edge that I'm holding right here, horizontal to me, is the selvage edge. So if you know anything about fabric, you're gonna know that when your selvage edge is the edge that it rolls. You guys can see it rolling there. It rolls naturally inside. So it's gonna naturally roll on the grain line. So you get what I'm saying? The grain line is going to be this way with the selvage rolled edge. And the stretch is gonna go against the selvage. So for these in particular, the pattern actually tells you which way the stretch needs to go. Some of them just show you the grain line, and you just need to know that the stretch is opposite the grain line. This one tells you the grain line and the stretch. So does this one. So, pretty cool. It's a really great pattern. Patterns for Pirates is a really good pattern company, especially for beginners. That's actually, other than Big Noggin Baby, that's where I started out sewing. I actually started pattern testing for them. That was my first pattern testing, which is really cool because you get a first chance to look at some really cool patterns. Okay, so we're gonna do the back first. So the back here, we're gonna learn a new thing that I don't think we've ever really done technically. We've done it, but we've never called it this. So this back piece here, it says cut 2 mirror images. This piece will not be cut on a fold, but we will cut it with our fabric folded to produce 2 mirror images. This is the easiest way. When I first started, that freaked me out. Cut 2 mirror images. My mind went blank. I was like, what does that mean? I Googled it, and there was no clear instructions as to really what it meant. And so some people would say, you know, cut one like this, or not on a folded piece of fabric, cut one like this, and cut one like this. And I was just like, what if I forget? Oh, goodness. What if I forget how I just cut, you know what I mean? And like, then you're left with, you know, you ruined your fabric. So best way to do it, fold your fabric like you're going to cut it on a fold. And then put your pattern piece down enough to where you can cut all around the pattern piece. Remember the stretch. You want this line to be perfectly horizontal with the stretch. So I'm gonna grab my pattern pieces here. I'm gonna leave a little bit extra up here so we can cut the neckband at the top here. So go ahead, and if you know me, you know that I like to cut straight lines. This may freak some people out because I'm gonna have a few scraps left over. It's just what I like to do. Keeps my cuts nice and straight for me. That's my OCD spirit, I guess. I don't know. I just like to cut everything straight across and then get rid of the scraps immediately. Some big scraps I hold on to, just like this piece. That's a selvage rolled edge. You can use that. Some people save this for a drawstring, which is pretty cute. But I'm not gonna do that. All right, so this pattern piece, I left this piece up here. We're gonna go ahead and cut our neckband out of this piece up here. Neckbands, if you're familiar with this, neckbands are typically gonna be like 1.5 inches. That's the type of neckband that I like, the width. It's my favorite width neckband, and this one calls for 2 inch. I'm gonna go ahead and modify it to a 1.5 inch. You can do the 2 inch like it says. There's nothing wrong with that. This is just personal preference. So what I did, I got tired of cutting out bands with my huge ruler, and I just wanted something that was 1.5. So I went to Hobby Lobby, and back in like the drafting section, like the paper drafting section, I went and found this one. It's called Tech Tools, and it is just a 18-inch clear ruler, but it is 1.5 inches wide. So I can just sit this down like this and cut a strip, and that'd be my neckband, and then I'll just cut it to the length. It's pretty cool. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. You just gotta be careful because it will move, so you don't want to cut your fingers. So I'm gonna go ahead and just cut a strip. So I cut one side, and then I cut the other side. Alright, so that made cutting neckbands super easy for me. Like I said, I had to go to a different section. This was not in the fabric section. All the fabric ones were like 3 inches wide or like 2, and I need 1.5. That's just my preference. So go to Hobby Lobby and look in the drafting section if you want help cutting out neckbands. Super simple. So then you get a perfectly cut neckband piece. So this says it needs to be 12. So I'm gonna line it up here, 12.5. So it's right here. And then you have this piece, which you can do whatever you want with later. It could be a neckband, it could be a cuff. So there's your neckband. You've already got your neckband done and cut out, and it was super simple. So I'm gonna go ahead and prepare my neckband. That's just what I like to do. Get it done. Like any other cuff, if you've watched any of our videos, you fold it this way, right sides together, and you fold it this way, right sides together. I believe this is called the hot ham method. Somebody told me that the other day, and I was like, oh, it has a name. So that's how you do it, and then you'll serge or zigzag stitch this edge right here. Again, you can absolutely do this with a sewing machine. I did this pattern when I first started and I didn't have a serger. This was a pattern that I did with a sewing machine and it comes out just fine. It's just, if you want to go quicker and if you want it to look a little bit nicer on the inside, a serger will help you. It's definitely not necessary though. So, okay, we're gonna cut all around the piece. Here. I can't be the only one that sings songs to myself that when I'm cutting patterns. I feel like it's like necessary. This one's kind of tricky, that little curve right there. But alright. I'm gonna go ahead and cut this straight and then cut this curve right here. Boop. Okay. There we go. There's my little scrap pieces. Okay. So we said we were cutting 2 mirrored images. So now what happens is when you flip this over, boom, it's a mirrored image. Same thing, when you flip them over, it's an exact copy, but the opposite side. So that's perfect. And so that kind of gives you an idea of how the tulip's gonna like swoop and swoop in the back. Okay, so now we need to do one front. That's majority of the fabric right there. So this is the same edge that I just cut that fabric out of, so I'm just gonna keep folding. This fold is gonna be a little smaller because it's a smaller piece, and we just need 1. We're just cutting 1. We had to cut 2 for the back because it's 2 pieces, and we cut 1 fold. This one's gonna be on a fold. So we're gonna cut right here. I'm gonna waste a little bit. I know that's probably gonna drive people crazy. You don't have to do it like that, but that's just what I do. So, okay. Go ahead and cut straight across here. So I folded my fabric over, you've seen that. I'm gonna go ahead and cut a straight line here. All right, so then that's done. I already got my neckband out of that, so I'm gonna put that over there. There's a little TV tray over here, so it's not floating. Cut this neck curve here. Well, all right, and then sleeve. Sleeve. This little piece, this little corner here is tricky. Okay. Right. So then we have our shirt right here. Okay. There we go. Boom shakalaka. There is the front. It's upside down to you, but that's the front. So for the construction part of this, what we're gonna do is we're going to grab the front piece and we're gonna face it right side up. Like this. Right? Okay. Make sure this part's out. Okay. This front piece, right side up. Now we are going to match up the side seams here. Just like this. So your shoulder, or not your shoulder, your armpit to here. You're gonna serge here. You're not gonna worry about the shoulder seams yet. And then you're gonna do the same thing with this one. It really doesn't matter which one you put down first. It's just gonna determine which part of the tulip is front and which one's underneath. It doesn't really matter. I mean, if you have a preference, you do that preference, but I don't have a preference. I guess if you're selling them, it might be important to do the same side every time, just so that you like the more uniform, but otherwise, if you're just doing it for personal use, it really doesn't matter which side goes which, because either one's correct. All right, so you're pretty much just laying it flat, lining up your armpit to here on each side. And so we're gonna just go over to the serger. I'm gonna go over to the serger and I'm just gonna do here, just a stitch here. You do a zigzag stitch if you don't have a serger, it's fine. I just use a serger because it's what I got. I used to do this pattern before I had a serger with a sewing machine. It works just fine. Just use a stretch stitch. My favorite is a zigzag. So I'll be right back after I serge right here and right here. Okay, so now we've got it serged right here and right here. And so what happens is, I'm gonna move our neckband over here. What happens is you're gonna open it up and you have the entire tulip part here that you can then hem in one full sweep. you have a cover stitch, which if you're a beginner, you most likely don't have, but it's a really cool tool. We don't have one, but there's a little string there. It would perfectly hem this to this. If you don't have a sewing machine, if you have a serger, what I like to do, I like to go ahead and serge around the edge just to give it a good finish. You could do a rolled edge. You can do really whatever. But what I like to do for mine is pretty much what I like to do with all of my stuff. I like to do a serged edge, and then I like to use my sewing machine and top stitch it up. So that's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to take you guys over here and show you guys what I do. So, alright, it's kind of far away, but it's just where it'll go right now. So pretty much, I know some people might ask, I just realized that. This is just because I ran out of this thread, so I put these here. It's just what I'm using, so there you go. You get to see what I'm using. But, okay, so my machine is right here. Those are the settings that I use. I don't ever really change these. I don't ever really change these. The knobs I'll change occasionally, but I typically keep them when I'm doing like construction in the garment at 3.5, 3.5, 4.5, 4.5. What I do. But when I'm doing a serged edge, I just like to turn my knobs all the way to 0. This is what works for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one edge of this curve. That's the middle piece. So I'm just going to take one edge up here with the starting at the side, and I'm going to do the whole curve. Not really going to cut anything off. Like this right here, and then so now we have a good serged edge around the side here, minus this hair that has escaped my head. Wait, there's still, okay, get off there. All right, so yeah, that's what I do there. As you can see, it's not the most gorgeous finish, but what I like to do now is just top stitch that, or not really top stitch. I fold it down and then I just zigzag stitch around. If you have a twin needle, it would mimic a cover stitch very nicely if you had a twin needle. I do not, but I'm just going to go over to my sewing machine and zigzag stitch. So I'll flip you guys around. Alright you guys, this is real life stuff here. My daughter left a book on the ground. Okay, so we're going to use a zigzag stitch. I'm going to make mine 3.5 width by 2 length. That's what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna do the exact same thing again. I'm gonna start over here on the edge that I serged around the corner. If you don't have a serger and all you have is a sewing machine, skip the serge part obviously, and then just top stitch down or roll up, roll under. I do about a 1/4 inch. I think it calls for about 1/2 inch. I like to do about a half an inch, probably what I like to do. So I like to do that, just fold it up. Start about right here on the edge, back stitch, and then start going. It will feel like it's taking forever because it is, because it's a long piece of fabric. But once you're done, you'll feel really accomplished. Really rolling the hem up as you go evenly, rolling it up. I just eyeball it. Some people measure it and pin it. I just eyeball it. Again, that's just personal preference. You do what works for you though. it to a straight away, so this should be fairly simple to just keep it straight. And it will require a little bit of ironing or pressing to get this to lay right. Because it's just how curves work. So, and like I said, it will require a little bit of pressing to make it lay flat and be pretty. But there's your top stitch, or your stitch hem there. And like I said, I'm kind of pulling it to make it lay flat, but you'll need to press it. So now we'll go over here, back to the serger. All right, so we're back at the serger, and I'm gonna cut these little ends here. Those over there. So they cut those. Okay, so, well, I missed these ones. So now you're gonna do the shoulder seams. So pretty much what you're gonna do is you're going to put the shirt, you find the top of the shirt. So this is the front right here. Oh. That's the back. This is the front of the shirt, right? And so we have these little hanging pieces from the side. So we're gonna put the front down. All right, so I've got this shirt. Now, this is the front piece that we cut on the fold. So there's a shoulder seam and a shoulder and a shoulder. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to match up the shoulder seams now, the shoulder pieces. Doesn't really matter which piece you do first. All right, so we're going to match up that piece right there. Just make sure your edges are matched up, and then you're going to match up this piece, this little side piece here. You're going to match it up right there on the edge of that one. Okay, and then you're going to move this little guy over here and do the same thing. So you're going to match this little piece right here on top of all of that, and so you're going to grab a pin and pin them together so they don't move, because you want to get all of that right there. Same thing here. We have that one side piece right there that we did, the tiny piece. Make sure the corners are matching up, and then you're going to put this guy right here. Almost called it a person. And then you're going to sandwich that little piece in there. All right, so now you're going to serge right here and right here. Or you can zigzag stitch if that's what you got. Oh man, I forgot to change my knobs back. See, that's what happens when you're not paying attention. So I'm changing them back to 3.5, 3.5, 4.5, and 4.5. Okay, so let me go back over that. I'm not going to cut anything off. I'm just going to go right back over the seam. Let me make it a little bulky, but at least I know the seam won't come unraveled. Alright, so back to this one over here. I will do you correctly. Okay, cut these little guys here. And you're almost done. Now all you have to do is give it a good pressing, really, and then do your sleeves here. And with these sleeves, you can do whatever. You can roll them up if you'd like. And that's a pretty good one. I think that's what I'm going to do. You can hem in the round and hem them. But first, before we do anything, I'm going to go ahead and quarter my neck hole here. So I'm going to go ahead, do this. And you just got to remember that now you have more than one piece on the back now because of that tulip. So make sure all those that back curve, both pieces in the back are lining up. You want both of those pieces to be lining up. So make your snip in the back, in the middle, and then you'll make your snip in the front, in the middle. And then You'll open that up and match the front snip and the back snip up together. Because the back is higher than the front, your side snips are not going to be your shoulder seams. They're going to be a little bit more in front. And that's how you can find them right there. Just matching up those points. Alright, so now we're all quartered up here. And we're going to go ahead and finish the neckband, which we've already prepared earlier. I've already folded it in the hot hem method. And so we're going to do a serge stitch there. Again, if you only have a sewing machine, you can use a zigzag stitch. Alright. I'm just going to quarter my neckband here. And I just like to do it like this. So it's easier for me. Make sure my lines are at my edges are lined up. And I'm just going to snip this part here. So that's going to be one snip. I'm going to use my seam here that we just sewed as a point. And then I'm going to match up the points that I just snipped if I can get my fingers to work correctly. Alright, so we got all our edges lined up. So I'm going to match this seam with the snip point that we just did here. Just like this. And then we have this point down here. Oh, you can't see that. This point down here. Boop. And then we have this point up here. Boop. Alright, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4 points. Flip your garment right side out. Possibly. I like to do my neckbands on the outside of the garment. Just what I like to do. Some people like to do it the opposite way. I don't. Call me a, I don't know, divergent, whatever. 4 pins. I'm going to put the seam in the back just to denote the back. It's just what I like to do. Again, personal preference. Do you. Whatever you want to do, whatever makes it easier for you, you can copy me. That's cool. You can do that. So it's fun. Join the club. I'm just matching up the points here. I'm just going around the neck, matching up each point with the point that I made on the opening with the neckband. And this is going to help me get a really even neckband with minimal wrinkling. And remember, I cut my neckband a little bit, about a ½ inch shorter, or not as wide as the pattern calls for. So mine may look a little different than yours if you did it like the pattern calls. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just different. Just different. Okay, so here we go. That's what the neckband is going to look like on the neck hole. You can see that it doesn't technically fit because you have to stretch the neckband to fit the opening. As with anything that we've done that requires a cuff or a band, you have to stretch the band because it's naturally smaller than the opening. Okay, so I like to start directly on a point. I'm going to pick this side point here, and I'm just going to make sure that all the 2 edges of the band and the 1 edge of the opening, I'm going to remove this pin. Make sure you guys can see me because I had you all. Okay, there we go. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hold it, I put it under my foot, drop the foot, and then I'm going to make sure all my pieces are lined up. So now I have, not only do I have 2 pieces of the cuff or the neckband, I now have 2 pieces in the back due to the tulip of the opening. So this is 4 total pieces of this back piece that I need to make sure are lined up with my band. So 2 pieces on the band and 2 pieces on the cuff. Or 2 pieces on the opening. So I'm just stretching it ever so slightly to just lay flat. Remove my pin. I just move from pin to pin, and I'll hold my pin like this and get this next section lined out as far as everything lined up. Again, it's a little bit more important with this tulip because the back is going to be, it's going to have 2 pieces, so make sure you're grabbing both those pieces. piece here. I'm just gonna go over where I started. And then I'm gonna grab my handy dandy tool. This is called a knit picker. Got it on Amazon. It's pretty cool. I like to do is I like to go over here, and it has this little edge down here at the bottom. If you can see it, it's like a little appendage looking thing. It just moves. Then I stick it into the seam here. Just pick a place to stick it and sandwich it in between. And then you're going to come out right beside where you want to pull this thread back through. Then you're going to wrap your thread around here, and I like to do this. And I'm just going to pull it through. I don't know why that was so difficult, but it was. And then I'm just going to snip this piece off right here. And as you can see, it is done. Then you flip this out. And you have a neck band. And you can top stitch this down if you would like. I'm not going to do that, but you can just for purposes. And then, so now we're going to focus on the sleeves. So for the sleeves, this pattern actually just says, okay, roll it up like a 1/2 inch or so, and, you know, top stitch or whatever. Top stitch. If you want to do that, you can. What I like to do is you can also roll this way, which would make a cute little top. And it has a long sleeve pattern, I believe, too. It has a long sleeve piece you can add to this. I just like doing it like this. You can roll up and then top stitch here and here and keep it rolled, which is pretty cute. You could do that. That's pretty cute. Or you can always add a cuff if you would like to do that. It's totally up to you. That's the versatility of this pattern. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and serge around the circle. I'm going to turn my zero, or turn my knobs back to 0. And then serge in the round here. And then for this one, I'm not going to tuck my tail. I'm just going to pull and make a knot. Alright. Then I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Alright, so after a little bit of top stitching, and I went ahead and did stitch my sleeves, I basically just rolled them under, as you can see, about 1/4 of an inch pretty much, and just flipped them up and zigzag stitched them down. You guys see that? That's pretty much just what I did on both sides. And then I top stitched my neckband down, did some pressing, and it just made it overall look a lot better. So that's the front. And then, of course, the beautiful, beautiful tulip back here. There is the back of this cute little thing. And it's just super cute, super flowy. It's a really cute pattern, and it's free. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Make sure you give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Join our memberships, join the family. If you've been hanging out with us for a while and you're not a part of our group, join our memberships. It's just $3.99 to get into our group. So join that. We also have packages up from there that give you little special perks. We have some really cute hack videos coming up for our silver team, our silver package. So just be, looking out for that, and we'll see you next Tuesday. See you guys.